YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. Before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel and you have not subscribed and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share and like the video, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. In this particular video, women in this video are talking about financial issues. Some of the women in this video are having financial problems, and some of these women, according to sources, say that a lot of women are broke and living in Uhaul trucks. And we know a lot of the homelessness rate is going up, and a lot of people are having a hard time affording rent and just regular everyday bills. And so we know that there are a lot of individuals who are living in their cars, living in shelters, living in storage units and things of that nature. So I wanted to bring this video to your attention, and we're going to kind of talk about it and go through it. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I definitely want to hear what you have to say, but I'm going to stop talking. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
So this morning I ended up having a mental breakdown, and I pretty much was talking to God about how stuck I feel in everyday life. And I don't know if this is just an American thing, but you know, just trying to make it, trying to like fight this uphill battle. And it just felt like I was stuck, or I'm stuck in survival. Like I'm not really living life. And then here come TikTok. Okay, I don't know if the algorithm just be listening or this AI smart, but then I come across the lady who just chooses to be homeless, and she, you know, she spends her money. She works at Amazon, and then she chooses to spend her money at, you know, restaurants eating good. And she's like, she's happy. Then I scroll some more, and somebody else was talking about how she don't want to be a doctor. She don't want to do anything. She don't want to be a lawyer. She don't want to get a degree. She just want to exist and thrive. Then I scrolled some more, and then another lady was talking about how we view stability a certain type of way. You know how they say God works in mysterious ways? Well, that gave me my revelation that I needed. Is, you know, some people say certain things, like the internet, or just like people nowadays, like they think that stability is viewed as being hyper independent and having a house and having the car and having like a 6-figure job. And for me, that's not true. Like my stability, I want to be in a partnership. If I can find a husband that pays for everything, and I can be a stay-at-home mom and do content creating full-time, or just find hobbies that I love and get them paid for, I would love that. I don't want to go to school for the next 2-3 years trying to get a degree. I just want a stable job that makes great income that I love.
I think, and I say this all the time, women can be very confusing, you know, and I see this happen all the time. A lot of women, they want something that looks good, and then when they get it, they realize the work that it takes to maintain and sustain it, and then they don't want it. That's just the reality for a lot of women. Maybe not her in this particular video, but in general, a lot of women, you know, they chase after something to prove that they can do it, and then once they've made, you know, prove to themselves that they can do it, then they no longer want it. This is why you have so many, you know, so-called boss chicks who are out here complaining about working and paying all the bills, because they don't want to do that for the rest of their lives. They want to have somebody to come in and take over and do it for them. They don't want to have to maintain the struggles of maintaining your livelihood and this lifestyle that they've created. This is why they want men with a lot of money, and in their minds they won't settle. But what's happening is they're setting themselves up for failure. You know, all this feminist talk of you don't need men and you can do it all by yourself because you're able to make some money at some point in your lifetime, and that you don't really need a man, is setting a lot of these women up for failure. This is why we see a lot of women crashing out. This is why we see a lot of women complaining about being an adult, because it is difficult. And when you are doing it all by yourself, it's going to be difficult, because there's no stopping. You don't have the money or the funds to retire early or to take breaks, because you've created a lifestyle that has to be maintained. And this is, I don't think they think about this. You know, taking all these lavish trips and spending all this money on things you really don't need, trying to keep up with a certain lifestyle that you feel you should have and that you deserve, is bankrupting a lot of these individuals, to the point to where you don't have any other choice but to let it all go and become homeless, because now you don't have to worry about all of the load and the responsibility all by yourself. But they're so independent and so stuck in this mentality that, oh, I need to do what I want to do, and I don't want to listen to a man, and I don't really need a man, to the point where they're killing themselves, they're bankrupting themselves, they're becoming homeless because they can't afford that lifestyle that they acquired for themselves. And now that we have men who are saying, no, I'm going to live my life, I'm not bankrupting myself to go out and have to pay for all this stuff that is not necessary. And so that leaves these women to their own devices. You're by yourself trying to maintain this lifestyle you created and the one that you felt you deserved and you should have. And you can't get a man to come in and pay all of that for you. So it's going to be difficult for them to maintain. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next, 10, 15, 20 years, we see more and more homeless women, because at some point it's going to become too much to handle all by yourself. There's a reason why two people are necessary in a relationship. When you're so stuck in this idea that you don't need a man, you can do it all by yourself, you tend to have to fall short, because now, this lifestyle that you've created, you can't maintain it. It has to be maintained. And if you're trying to do that, it's not going to work long term. It's just not. It's not. And you're not rich. And this is where you find people scamming and stealing and doing all kind of things to try to keep this lifestyle, when we see a lot of that's changing too. A lot of them getting arrested, a lot of them, getting caught in these scams and stealing, and you can't even maintain it that way. So it's just a lot. But baby, let's continue.
Stay there. I just want to thrive. I don't want to start no business trying to beat the hustle and everything, getting up at 5 a.m. to work out and everything like that. No, baby, I barely got the credit and the money to be putting aside for savings, let alone starting a business. So, instead of sitting up here and using my tax money to, pay bills 5 months ahead in advance and get a car, I would rather book a cruise. I would rather do things that make me happy. I'm tired of trying to keep up with the Joneses and everything else. I'm literally ready to give up my house and kind of be a nomad, homeless, whatever y'all want to say.
Hey y'all, I just finished my spiritual cleanse at Planet Fitness. I obviously look cleaner, I look pure, I look good. I hope that you guys have a good rest of your night, and yeah, I'll catch you next time.
I have to be out of my home in 2 weeks, which means I have 2 weeks to find a house, or else I'm going to be homeless. And I am here to tell you that there is no affordable housing. Affordable housing is a myth. You cannot support a family on one full-time income. Let me say it again. There is nothing affordable out there. Trailers cost as much as houses right now. Trailers cost more than I have ever paid in rent for any place that I have ever lived at. Ever.
From someone who constantly vents on the internet, I can tell you firsthand that most people do not care about your problems. I was homeless for a very short period of time, and I can tell you from that experience of being borderline homeless, most people do not care that you're struggling and do not care that you have problems. I came across a couple of nice people here and there, but for the most part, no one gave a crap that I was struggling. Not even men. Men, all they said was, oh, good luck with everything. Best of luck to you. I had no one come and save me. Eventually, I had family step in and help me with a place to live. But literally, I had no one that wanted to genuinely help me.
Why would men come in to help you? If a lot of men who've been in those situations, there was no one standing there to help them. There's not a group of sisterhood or women who would be willing to help a homeless man. They're just gonna look at it and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can figure it out. You're a grown man. But when it's women, somehow women expect some type of help because they've always had someone there to help them. And when there's no one there to help, it's confusing to them. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Truly my faith in God that powered me through. Let me tell you, being homeless is not fun. Living out of Airbnbs was not fun.
Hey everybody, my name is Tyler, and because of the out of control inflation that we're having in our country right now and rent prices being over $1,500 a month, I have been outpriced at the rental market, and I live here in my car full time, and I wanted to give you a brief tour. So starting with the bed here, it is a 3-inch memory foam mattress topper, super comfortable. I have about 4 layers of blankets, which keeps me warm, especially right now we've got 20-degree weather at night, so it's pretty cold. Moving over here, I have my cooler. I've had a few people tell me I'm not supposed to have this cooler because I live in my car, but it actually was a birthday gift last year for my 30th birthday, and I just can't part with it. I absolutely love it. Keeps all my food cold and fresh for days. I absolutely just adore this cooler, so I'm not going to get rid of it. And in the back there, you can see I have 2 really comfortable pillows.
I'm crying tears of joy because I've been homeless, and I finally signed a lease, and I'm in my apartment, and so I'm gonna show you my crib.
Now she's crying because she was homeless and now she finally has an apartment. Shout out to her, baby. I know it's rough. I know it's rough. And you know, to speak on the guy prior to this, was a man who was homeless. Most people don't care about men being homeless, but when it's a woman, you know, they expect the help, like I said before. And so it's a real thing. It's a real thing. You know, there are lots of people living in their cars with full-time jobs, going to work every single day, and they don't have a place to stay. Let's continue though.
Sorry, I'm like really emotional. But thanks to the help of some friends and the community and crowdfunding and asking for help, I am able, or was able, to get into this apartment. And I'm so incredibly grateful. I haven't had a lot of things recently, and so I can finally get back on track. And I'm so excited and I'm so grateful, and I wanted to share this moment with you all. So for the people that have helped me and sent donations, thank you so much for getting me into this apartment. Onward and upward from now on, and I'm working full-time, so I can't wait. Thank you, everybody. God bless you, and happy holidays.
I'm homeless, and this is how I date. I shower and get ready at the gym, and then I take my stuff to storage since it's not that far. I Uber to and from the date, even though they usually ask to come and pick me up. I don't mention being homeless until the second or third date, but it hasn't been an issue so far. If you have a problem with me dating, just remember I'm homeless by choice, and unlike you, I don't have any rent to pay.
Do you think that if you're homeless, you should be dating? I think women will quickly disqualify a man who is homeless. But is it the same for men? If you met a woman and you found out that she was homeless, would you continue to date her? Let me know in the comments. Let's continue.
Y'all, being homeless and camping is crazy as hell, but thank you so much for the setup thing. It's actually crazy in here. There's a cat eating right now, but our air mattress literally popped the first night that we were here, and so we slept on the floor, and it ended up being wet as hell. And so we have tarp underneath there because we're all sick now because of that. Cat litter box needs to be changed. The babies play over there. So that's tent number 1. And then over here we got the boys' hoop, bunch of stuff to eat and stuff like that. His chair, my chair's inside of this tent. Let's see. This one's kind of like just storage, kind of a bunch of just bull crap.
They rent out U-Hauls to sleep in the back of the U-Hauls with their families. I'm telling you, and they get those huge U-Hauls to sleep in there with their families. And then they also drive around them with like a car. Okay, they also sleeping in storage units. So they rent out storage units to sleep in them.
It's a lot of landlords off, but I don't really care at all. But I'm gonna read to y'all the qualifications that this person wants for this house. And it ain't an amazing ass house. We're not talking about anything super expensive. The rent, like I said, is $16.95, $40 application fee per adult. They want you to make 3.5 times the rent. Standard, for whatever reason, is 3 times the rent. When majority of Americans don't even make 3 times a $1,600 a month rent. I don't know where people just get up and be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make this a national standard that people have to make 3 times the rent amount.
Now, this is where I like to chime in, because you hear a lot of women who claim that they're boss chicks, and all these women are making all this money and they making so much more than the average black man, which I think the average black man, I don't know, what is it, 50 something thousand, 40 to 50,000. And these women are supposedly making way more and out earning these men. So you would assume that a lot of these women are making 100K or more, because that's what they always claim. And that's what they say the men have to make. But when we know that the majority, you know, she just said it, the majority of people don't have 3 times the rent. They don't have $1,600 3 times. So where's all this money coming from? And why do we see the homelessness rate rising amongst women? So where is all these boss chicks making 6 figures or more that can afford these bills? Where is that the majority? Because from what we're seeing and what statistics say, that is not the majority. So that's maybe a super small percentage of women who can afford that life. The majority of them cannot. So I don't understand why they like to push this boss chick mentality when in actuality, a lot of these women are struggling. Let's continue.
Majority of people can afford 2 times the rent on a specific basic home like this. But this person is going even further. They don't want you to have 3 times the rent. They want you to have 3.5 times the rent. They want the last 2 years of your W-2s, the last 3 months of your check stub, driver's license or ID, social security card. They want you to make 2 months worth of rent as your security deposit before you even move in, and you have to have a credit score of at least a 670. I'm trying to tell you off the bat that disqualifies so many people from being able to be in a home that is decent. Let's add that up, why don't we? Off the rip, you have to pay first month's rent, $16.95. You have to pay $40 application fee per adult, and let's just say the standard adult is 2 adults, right? You have to pay, if you have a pet, which majority of people in Houston do have pets, dogs, it's a $250 non-refundable fee per pet. So let's just say you have a pet. We're going to add that up. And then you have to make 2 months of the rent to equal the amount of the security deposit. So that's $16.95 times 2. All right. And on top of that, we're not even talking about your utilities and all the things that you have set up. They want you to have rental insurance before you move in. Standard rental insurance is probably about $25 a month. Let's just say that. Before you can even move into this house, sitting in a savings account somewhere or just idle money, you already got to come off of this amount of money. I don't know at what point we stop being human, though. Even as an investor and a landlord, at what point did we stop being human and we say money trumps everything, including people? I don't get it.
Day 7, living in a homeless shelter. Start my morning off with journaling my thoughts and my feelings and what I'm thankful for. Meditation, because I'm really starting to lose my damn mind in here. The positivity is truth going out the window. Get my suitcase out, figure what I'm wearing, and also get my toiletries out so I can wash my face and brush my teeth. Deodorant, of course, cannot smell. Put my pajamas up. These things actually starting to make me sweat every night. Place one of my bags on top of the other to make it easier before I change my shoes. I put on different shoes today just because, why not? I put all my stuff in storage, so lay my edges down. Of course, this is all I have for breakfast. The food here has honestly gotten to me. Come do my voiceovers for my TikTok content and whatever else I need to finish up for the morning. They actually told me I gotta stop coming up here, so there's that. I gave myself a tarot reading and it pretty much told me that everything was about to happen. It's another rainy day, which means it's only so much that I'm gonna be able to do. I usually like the rain, but with what's going on lately, I'm just kind of over it. Maybe just downtime was needed. I go to the 7-Eleven to figure out what I am going to eat because, like I said, I'm so tired of that food. I'm thankful, but I'm definitely tired of it.
Once again, and I'm not putting this on everybody because this is not everybody's situation or everybody's talking points, but this is why I think a lot of the so-called boss chicks are doing the majority of individuals an injustice. You're making these women think that they should be expecting more from a man by being unrealistic. And I really think a lot of this could be avoided if you had support and help. 2 is better than 1. You know, because all of the burden is on one person. This is inevitable. This is what we're seeing happening. You know, and even with 2 individuals, 2 people is hard. But I really believe that you can manage better if you manage your money properly. If you save and you're both saving together and saving for a rainy day so that if one of y'all lose your job or both, y'all not just asked out, you're not out in the streets, you have money to, you know, hold y'all up for a good while until you find something else. That's the whole point. Life is not about just trips and having a good time and running the streets and traveling and it's not about that. It's about making sure that you have the things that you need, you know what I'm saying, in life, because when hard times hit, this is the outcome in many cases. You don't have money for a rainy day to still be good and stay in your place and all of that and keep the things that you already have accomplished. You know, it's just sad that it has to be thrown all out the window, because a lot of times, and I'm not saying this is her case, people mismanage what they make because they feel that they can, because while the getting is good, you know, they don't think it's ever going to end. And when life starts to life, like I said before, then it's like, oh damn, don't worry about it until it's a problem. When it's a problem, then now all hell breaks loose. Now you end up in a situation like this. That's unfortunate, but let's continue.
This is what I ate for today. A bunch of snacks. I try to keep it healthy. Of course, my free water. This wrap, they're okay. I mean, it's better than the damn shelter food. Apple juice, because I'm trying to unbig my back. Take this, whatever the this is, out, because I eat healthy, but not that healthy. Come stand in line to get back in the shelter by 3 o'clock. And this is the building where the man set himself on fire yesterday. So there's that. The metal detector that we have to get into. And I finally got the elevator to myself for once, which is a rare occurrence. All smiles. Trying to go do my content, but little did I know, they sent out a mass email pretty much telling me that I couldn't. And I'm going to do a story time about that, because you'd be surprised at how much people are very miserable, even though they pretend that they're people of God. This is the chapel where I was supposed to be doing my content, but then they told me to stop doing my tarot. As you can tell, I am officially over it.
I hate how social media gassed me into believing that apartment complexes are no longer able to charge 2 times month's rent, 3 times month's rent. Them motherfuckers is still doing that. Ain't nothing changed. The only thing is now they're doing it in a way that makes it seem like it's not the same, but it is the same. Because let's say your total rate for our apartment you were looking at is like $1,400, right? Roughly $1,300. You got to pay the first month's rent, right? That's $1,300. You got to pay the last month's rent. That's another $1,300. And a security deposit, which 9 times out of 10, it's either the first month's rent or quarter of that. So let's just say another $1,300, right? That's $3,900 just to move into an apartment. And let's not forget about that application fee. A lot of the times these apartments be having you put in applications and you still don't qualify for that fucking apartment, or they'll have you put in an application before you even view the fucking apartment. Like, how does that make sense? Not only that, you don't even get your money back. Like, America is sick and corrupt, because there's no way you're telling me you have to spend $3,900 just to move into a bullshit ass apartment. Something very bare minimum, very simple. Like, I don't get it.
Listen, once again, I think that is unfortunate, but at the same time, it's still, I can't ignore the fact that the majority of the individuals who are really, you know, becoming homeless and struggling with this are single women who you don't have no support. You don't have a husband, you don't have anybody but you. When you're out here doing it all by yourself and it's just you and you run out of money, that's just it. Ain't nobody really coming to save you. For real, you're going to have to figure that out. And this is where you find a bunch of women homeless, living in Uhaul trucks, living in shelters, living in their cars, trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but it's the reality that we're facing. This whole boss chick mentality, I can do it all by myself, is not beneficial to anyone. It's really not. And I really wish women would understand that and get to a place to understanding that is not going to yield the best results for most women. That is just not. You may not be in a position to just do it all by yourself for the entirety of your life. That you may need some help, and you just can't expect the man to be on standby. So when things go bad for you, he's ready to pick up the pieces and make it all good for you and keep the party rolling. No, it just don't work like that. Y'all let me know, this was a long one. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments of this whole situation that we're seeing unfolding. Definitely chime in. I want to get what your thoughts on this. Make sure y'all let me know what y'all think. I would definitely be looking in the comments to get y'all perspective on this. So let me know. Comment, like, subscribe, share the video, hit that bell to be notified when I upload new content, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.